And hundreds of people gathered outside Seattle's Hempfest Central for the countdown as marijuana became legal in Washington state, at least in small amounts. They and dozens of others celebrated by lighting up without fear of arrest. Recreational users can now possess up to an ounce of marijuana, adults anyway. King 5's Teresa Ewan has more on the new law.
The cannabis community is calling today the end of prohibition on pot. Now here's more video of the huge smoke out of the Space Needle at 12:01. Hundreds of people celebrated by lighting up. Okay, here's the deal. It's still a felony to grow and sell pot if you're not licensed. So people can't just start growing pot at home. Now you could get a fine for smoking in public, but under this new law, you will not be arrested. In the meantime, marijuana users say the push is on to legalize marijuana in other states.
So I'm happy. And we're going to keep legalizing marijuana until it's actually legal.
Yeah, feeling of pride. These folks really, again, hosted the platform for the conversation. Over 20 years these guys have done this.
A big question now is when can retail outlets start selling marijuana? Well, the Liquor Control Board and the Departments of Agriculture and Health have 1 year to come up with the rules to license and regulate the sales of pot. We could see some challenges to this new law. We had King County Prosecutor Dan Satterberg on our air this week, and he says he wouldn't be surprised to see if this case goes all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court in the next 2 years. In Seattle, I'm Teresa Ewan, King 5 News.
The marijuana law is not easy to understand. Here are some answers to a few of the common questions. The first one, can I grow marijuana at home? The answer to that is no, unless you are an authorized medical marijuana patient under Washington law. Home growing is not allowed. Also, can a prospective employee still be drug tested for marijuana when applying for a job? The answer to that one is yes. I-502 does not change state employment law, which allows for employment drug testing. Does I-502 change Washington's medical marijuana law? No. Washington's Medical Use of Cannabis Act remains unchanged. So, what should parents tell their teenagers about marijuana use now that it's decriminalized? Inga Manskov from Seattle Children's told King 5 Morning News households should make their own decisions about what's okay and what's not.
These are what our rules are in our house. This is how we feel about kids using marijuana. This is how we feel about kids using any sort of drugs, and then move on to some consequences.
All right, a new survey in Washington state shows teenagers think marijuana is less risky to use, and use rates have increased. Stay with King 5 News for the latest on the new laws now in effect in the state, and you can get answers to your questions about them on our website. Just go to king5.com.